another.
I don't think you can ever learn enough. I know I won an Oscar in my introduction, but that don't mean I know everything, man. That's the first thing I say when I walk into anything. I'm a student. I am here to learn, to know the triumphs that she
Melanin
had.
goddess that's before me. Hello. Coming up on another act, I talk with Oscar winner Jennifer Hudson about stepping into a new role as a producer and bringing Aretha Franklin to the big screen, finally. You know, let's start here and let the people know who are watching this interview right now. Prior to Miss Franklin's passing, she personally chose you to portray her when the film of her life would eventually be made. Her wish, of course, has been realized with this movie, Respect. Walk me through what it felt like for Miss Franklin to handpick you.
Ooh, child, it's still a surreal thing. I don't take it lightly at all. It's like, wow, because it was my dream as well to want to play her. So to add her on top of it, saying, okay, Jennifer, I want you to play me. But that was my encouragement to be able to get through it, because it's not easy to say, okay, I'm gonna play Miss Aretha Franklin. Oh my God, it took a lot of like pep talks within myself to get through it, but that was encouragement.
I remember years and years ago back in Detroit, she was talking about who she wanted. And I remember when, quite frankly, she saw you on American Idol and she zoomed in. It was like laser focused.
Wow.
You were the person that she wanted. And she talked about that so much to anybody who would listen. At what point did she first come to you, Jennifer, and talk to you about this project?
First, let me say the first time I got to sing for Miss Aretha Franklin was right after I was like eliminated from American Idol. So that was even before Dreamgirls, okay? Wow. And then after I won my Oscar for Dreamgirls, we had a meeting. That was our first meeting, a sit-down meeting we had about me playing her, which was at this point 15 years ago. And then she called me maybe 8 years after that. I mean, we kept in contact and obviously discussed it up until that point, but she said, I finally made my decision. It is you, young lady, who I want to play me. And she said, don't you say a single thing. And I said, yes, ma'am, I won't. I mean, you're not gonna go back and forth with the queen. So that's when it was in talks for so long. So when it actually happened, again, I've been waiting for 15 years. And I know we've waited a whole year through the pandemic, and it's like it's taken forever, but I've waited 15 years. So once we started filming, I'm like, it's really happening, because it's been so long talked about.
Aretha had a very private life. As much as we know about her, people are going to discover so much about Aretha Franklin they did not know. What surprised you the most, about this project? I don't know if it's something that audiences will discover in film or something that maybe you even learned in your own research, independent of talking with the Queen.
I mean, it's so many things, because like you said, she was very private, and we didn't, know much other than, I guess, what she allowed us to know, But I think part of her activism, like knowing how hands-on as an activist she was, and in her relationship with Dr. King, like when you look at it from afar, okay, they lingered during the same time, but to know they worked together in their lives for the same cause, and to know she was such a massive voice for a time like that, which was bold and courageous of her. Aretha wasn't a very vocal person. She had presence, and she said what she said when she said it, but she didn't, you couldn't really tell what her emotion was, or she just had this regal royal presence. But to learn, like, she expressed herself mostly through her music, and that's what you get to know her most from, how she channeled her emotions through her artistry. To know the triumphs that she had in her life, to know an icon and a figure like that went through the things she went through but still prevailed.
Did you find a kinship in that with Aretha, that she channeled all of what she went through her music? Because I know you had mentioned to me before that you also are very private and guarded about your life as well.
Yes, definitely. I understood it. I mean, obviously respect it as well, for that reason. Because it's I guess a thing that makes us similar in that way. So in portraying it and knowing what was on my shoulders to do, it made you want to like protect it and but pay homage to it in the best way possible.
We really talk about who she was as an activist. And that was a space that a lot of people weren't aware of until her funeral. But that's what we see played out in this film. What are your thoughts about exploring Aretha Franklin's life through this particular prism?
We know so much of her through music, and we love her for that. But it makes you respect and value and appreciate her more, and her impact to be that much more powerful when you learn the substance behind it, when you learn the times behind songs like Respect in the era of the 60s where women didn't really have much of a voice, and you got this woman who is that bold, courageous enough to stand up and sing a song about respect, took it from a man and demanded that respect. That can't help but to give you, empower you or us as women,
One thing that I think is so important is that this film is directed and written by Black women.
Yes.
Lee Zoltami and Tracy Scott Wilson direct and write this respectively. Black creators who provide authentic perspective and insight to the storytelling is so important. And that's a conversation, that we find ourselves having right now, but also important along that same lines is that you're an executive producer on this film and it's the first time that you've done this. How does that change things for you? And what were some things that maybe you really wanted to see executed in this project as a producer and not just as talent?
To keep the context of it being real and keeping her faith present, that was important at the root of everything. And sometimes being an actor doesn't give you the space to allow you to be able to do that, to make sure what she entrusted me with is maintained and present, to be that voice, and to have that be authentic and real. And I feel like, because this is a personal project to me, it hits different from all the rest, although I'm passionate about everything I do, but this one here, honey, is a whole nother something else. Okay, I'm aware, for many reasons. So it allowed me to be able to be yet another woman that's involved, because she was a powerful figure to us as women and as a woman. So of course she should be represented by Black women as well. And I feel like it hits different and taps in a different way when it's told by us.
The first film that we ever saw you in, which of course was Dreamgirls, you cleaned up during award season. And it was crazy because you also were introducing yourself as an actor and as a singer too. And you picked up absolutely every award that you were up for.
Thank you.
I don't know if you spent any time thinking about this, but how did that alter the course that you were building, quite frankly, at that time in Hollywood? Like, how did that change things for you?
I feel like it was in God's hands. He did it all. So I honestly, I was just there to do my job. In that, I was like, Bill Cunning gave me this opportunity. I just want to make him proud and get my lines right. And this, Aretha, you say, do this, ma'am. I just want to do whatever it is that you wanted me to do. Whatever I can offer, I want to do. But then, everything was moving so fast, and I remember Jamie Foxx saying the most amazing thing about this whole thing is she has no clue to what's going on and what's happening. I didn't. I honestly didn't, but I'm the kind, if you give me the opportunity, I will make it work. And so that's all I wanted to do in that case. And I'm just blessed and grateful to still be, to think that project has carried me this far,
Yeah. I mean, your experience in Hollywood most certainly has been unique, starting with that entrance, but also this experience on Respect was a unique experience because Aretha herself came to you with this project. But when you think about the totality of your career, what types of projects do you find yourself gravitating more towards? Like, what are you looking for as you continue to build, the breadth of work that you do in this space?
I always respond to things. I love real things. I feel like it's not enough of that in storytelling in Hollywood. I think it's more impactful. I think it's inspirational. I think it's powerful when we can tell our stories in I don't want to keep using the word real, but in an authentic way. And that's what I want to continue to bring to the table. I think it's power in our life stories, that's a testimony. That's what inspire others. And so that's what catches my attention. And I don't do anything unless I'm passionate about it, and that's when the magic happens. That's it. And there needs to be a connection and a relation to it for me to want to respond to it, to be able to do it, because it's a huge commitment when you commit yourself to playing something or being a part of something. And I just like those things to be genuine and have substance.
What's next for you beyond that? What are you thinking of?
To take the teachings that I've gotten from this and applying it to my own world, my own artistry, and more music.
I was gonna say, come on now.
I am in the studio.
Okay,
don't get me in the middle of all of this. I've started on I don't know what album this is, but I've started on it because all I do is sing. So I don't know, like it's all the same to me as far as creating content and material, but I am working on my album as we speak. I want to get out and tour and perform and see the people and, more like that, and eventually direct, produce. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm grateful. So I can't complain.
Jennifer Hudson, the director. I like it.
You like
it has
that?
a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
It has a really nice ring to it.
I definitely want to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Jennifer, it is always great to talk to you, especially about this project. I look forward to having many more conversations in the future about all the things. So thank you so much for doing this today.
Thank you for having me. Always good to speak with you too. Thank you.
Thank you.